So your boss gave you a 5% increment. Congratulations, you're now earning less than the last year. And here's how. Inflation is not just prices going up, it's your money quietly losing purchasing power every year. If your salary, savings, or investments grow slower than inflation, then the same money gradually buys you less. And for many people living in metro cities, inflation often feels much higher. The experienced inflation is much higher than the RBI's CPI number, which is printed around 3.5%. Have you ever given it a thought why that happens? Because CPI measures average inflation across India, not your personal inflation. India's CPI basket is population weighted, and this is something that we all forget. And the rural weight, according to the population, is about 65%. And that is why the weight of food inflation is much higher. But urban household or people like you and me, we spend far more on housing, healthcare, education, transport, insurance, services and lifestyle expenses. And services inflation, we all know, is so much more stickier. Also then comes the housing. Official housing inflation may look moderate, but anyone renting or buying in cities like Mumbai, Bangalore, Gurgaon knows actual costs have risen much faster. And then there's one more important layer that we don't really think about much. That is asset inflation. Because our future lifestyle is affected not just by vegetables and fuel, but also by the rising cost of homes, land, gold, and equities. Just imagine if from 2020 onwards the property prices have risen about 40%, while the CPI is just 3.5%, the cost of building wealth still became dramatically more expensive, isn't it? And then there is shrinkflation. Same price, small quantity, and lower quality, which is why many consumers feel inflation more intensely than the headline number of 3.5%. And that completely changes how you should think about investing. Savings account usually lose to inflation. Fixed deposits mostly preserve capital. Equities, real estates, REITs, InvITs and other productive assets are what historically helped create long-term real wealth. Which is why, if you truly want to beat your experienced inflation and protect your purchasing power over time, your portfolio should ideally generate at least 7 to 8% annual returns and not just match headline CPI inflation. So the real question is not what am I generating? The real question is, am I beating my actual inflation? Because one of the biggest financial risks today may not be market crashes. It may be underestimating your own inflation.